Hello, everyone. Welcome to our three with the SME conversation focused on finding final mile value in route planning and dispatch technology. Today, we're talking with a MercuryGate subject matter expert in final mile transportation and the final mile solution space. And it's a fairly casual conversation that's designed to help you quickly get the information you need about this important topic. My name is Michael Willard, and before we get started, a couple of quick housekeeping notes. This session is recorded and we're making it available on demand so you can stop, start, rewind at your convenience to hear the points that you want to hear the most. Please take a moment to see the related content that we provided in the On24 presentation panel. You can download those deliverables and take a deeper dive to this topic and our MercuryGate solutions. Today's Three with the SME session was based on questions submitted by our followers on LinkedIn. But if you've got additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. You can email our presenters directly. Just click the email link under their name and credentials that's displayed there on the On24 platform just under Greg Confer's name. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn as well and be on the lookout for future events. We created this Three with the SME series to field the questions on the top of your mind. With your help, every episode will address the technology details that are most important to you. And of course, you can connect with us on LinkedIn using that link that you see in the related content link that we provided in the On24 viewer. With that out of the way, let's get on to our subject matter expert. I mentioned him moments ago. It's Greg Confer. He's a senior sales consultant for MercuryGate Final Mile. He has more than 30 years of experience in transportation, including work in trucking, warehousing, and logistics. In that time, he spent more than a decade as a corporate line haul manager, coordinating operations in 30 hubs and 400 satellite terminals. Since then, he spent 15 years helping line haul managers and other logistics services providers realize the value of MercuryGate's final mile technology. Of course, that's why we're here today. Welcome, Greg. Welcome to our broadcast.
Thank you, Michael.
Again, I am Michael Willard, a marketing strategist for MercuryGate and the host of our Three with the SME conversation series. So, Greg, let's just get right into the most important stuff. What are some of the challenges that are driving a need for better technology in that last mile transportation management?
I think there's three major areas we can focus on there. I think the first one is cost. Um, Historically, shippers really haven't, if you're a shipper, you maybe never paid a lot of attention to your delivery costs. It was just the cost of doing business. And over the last few years, post-COVID pandemic, we ran into issues of providing faster delivery times, giving more consumer-style deliveries. And with that, the cost started increasing greatly. If you're a shipper, or I mean, if you're a shipper or a carrier or an LSP, a logistics service provider, you've always had a good idea and good understanding of what those costs are. But if you are a shipper, I think your focus there really was not necessarily directed on that cost. And that final mile cost really has been some of the most expensive leg of the journey in getting the product to your customer. I think the other thing that's driving customers' need for this right now is really customer retention. Customers have lost their loyalty. You don't have the loyalty you used to have, where you had a salesman that would keep a customer happy. Now it really is customers are fickle. They'll change on a dime to find the least cost provider. And I think the third one is customers are demanding an expanded or extended service offering, things like in-home delivery and setup or over-the-threshold delivery, maybe like, for example, in the pharmaceutical space, where you have to go in and put a delivery of medicine maybe in a customer's refrigerator. And so that need of expanding your service offering is very important as well.
Okay, and you mentioned a couple of personas that served or gained benefit from our final mile transportation technology that are affected there in the final mile space. Let's start with the logistics services providers, and if I'm one of those LSPs, what are the indicators that I might use to recognize that I need a better solution for routing and dispatch and dealing with some of those challenges you talked about?
Yeah, I think the first one is, are you running your operations manually currently or off an Excel spreadsheet? Are you losing customers because you can't provide up-to-date information on their orders? Um, are you dependent on a seasoned veteran that is your dispatcher or route planner that has all their tribal knowledge in their head? And when that person goes on vacation, for example, do you lose efficiency because of that? Are you just doing things the same way that you've always done them? That's another great example of why you need to look at this. And as your business is increasing or decreasing, well, more importantly, if it's increasing, are your costs going up at the same level? In other words, are you gaining or losing efficiency as you add more business? And then back to that comment I made about over the threshold deliveries or in-home deliveries, is your current system flexible enough to deal with these new expanded surface offerings that customers are expecting?
Yeah, okay. So let's flip the coin over towards that shipper side. If I'm a shipper that maybe I'm considering investment in a private fleet specifically, how does this solution benefit me?
First of all, it's a great tool to help you decide, is it right for me as a shipper to implement my own private or dedicated fleet? Um, Using a software solution that can do what if scenarios for you, where it helps you calculate your existing cost, outsourcing it, and comparing that to what it would cost to bring in your own fleet and your own drivers or dedicated drivers for you from maybe another provider that would provide that service for your customer. Now, additionally, with that, the other thing back to that, I'm going to keep speaking back to that, is that expanded service offering. Do the providers you currently have right now have the flexibility to provide those extended services like over the threshold or in-home delivery? If those questions, that's a great example to ask yourself, or questions to ask yourself when considering, should I implement a solution?
Okay, so whether I'm providing the service or I'm managing an internal fleet, the chances are pretty good that I've already got a system in place. How do I know that I'm getting the most value from that system that I am using?
Is it providing real-time status updates and the information you need to make decisions as things are happening in real time? Is it providing your users decision support in the way of making recommendations for pickup and delivery assignment? Anybody can Monday morning quarterback, and I can look at what my dispatcher did yesterday and critique it all day long. But in the heat of the battle, um, does that person have the tool to help them make decisions in their day-to-day operation? And I think that's what's an important characteristic you need in a software solution today in the dispatching space.
Okay, well, let's move from trying to determine whether I need a solution to talking about what that return on investment from those solutions are. So, what are some areas of improvement that a LSP can expect to gain when they implement a dynamic route planning and dispatch execution software solution?
Yeah, again, three major areas here. You've got your personnel optimization, your route planning optimization, what I call dynamic stop insertion optimization. So personnel optimization, doing more work, more deliveries with less drivers, less back office support in the customer service department, maybe administrative staff. Route planning, pre-planning, we call that batch route optimization, or planning before the drivers go out on the street. And then that day of execution, and being able to have a dynamic optimization engine supporting your dispatchers, or in some cases, completely replacing the need for the dispatcher in that particular operation. And I think we have a slide here. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. This is an example of one of our customers that utilized and where they gained that functionality. And really, if you move from left to right on the screen, they had a decentralized business model where each location was dispatching for themselves, about 110 people involved in that operation. Through the use of our platform, they were able to centralize their dispatch operation, and now went down to about 6 people. So there's your personnel optimization. Because of the dynamic and batch route optimization components of our platform, they were able to make their routes more efficient, both in the plan phase as well as day of as new orders, new pickup and delivery events came in, and they reduced their fleet size from about 1,000 vehicles down to 600. At the same time, they introduced a new product or a new service offering of a same-day delivery model. And in that case, they doubled the amount of volume that they were handling previous to that with those 600 drivers. On-time service improved. Because of that, gathering information in real time, the amount of calls coming into their customer service department was reduced by about 68%. And then when a call did come in, the amount of time it took to handle that call, that aggregate amount of time, went from about 17 minutes down to 4 minutes. So those are the three pillars there really of savings that you can gain from utilizing a tool like this.
Yeah, a great illustration there, Greg. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So, what's some of the technology that's driving that ROI in each of these areas?
Well, of course, you're going to need, in order to get the information, right, you're going to need a driver app. You're going to need a driver mobile app that's configurable to your business needs. And you're going to need to capture the information that's important for your customers, but also for you in order to make good dispatch decisions. So that mobile app should be able to capture GPS events of the drivers, arrival and departure events, allow you to capture electronic proof of delivery information, image capture, barcode scanning. So a mobile app for the drivers is essential. The system needs to be connected in real time, so it's feeding a customer service portal. So your customer service department is getting that information in real time, and also have the availability for that system to push that data and interface that data outside of your dispatch system so that other systems, such as your website, for example, would have that information at its fingertips. And then batch route optimization, or that pre-planning optimization capability, is very important to help you build the best plan possible when you're putting drivers on the street. And then that day of dynamic route optimization engine that's getting all of this information from the mobile apps and providing you dispatch support or dispatch decision replacement.
Okay, so it's a topic I know that's on a lot of minds, especially in the final mile space, and that's scalability. So, what's the benefit of having a solution that provides scalability?
Really, it comes down to, in a perfect world, we would know every day what our business volume was going to be, and we could spread that volume out evenly across every day of the business calendar. But that's not the real world. We have seasonality, we have high times and low times. And so having a tool that helps you adapt to that, getting you away from that concept of, well, we just run static routes. We dispatch drivers, and we put them out on the route. And if we have 10 stops today or 5 stops, that's fine. We still put the driver out. You really need a system that can scale up or down as your businesses change or as you gain or lose people. We know it's, a human resource is a very expensive resource within your organization as well. And having a tool that can support you when you lose a person is also important. And that's where that scalability comes in, because the system really provides that flexibility to deal with that.
Okay, well, let's move on now to talking about the solutions that we've got and maybe making that right final mile move. We've identified the need to improve operations. We've talked about the challenges. What are some of the key drivers or functionality that I should look for in a solutions provider?
Well, I think first of all is you want to find somebody that's got a long history in the logistics space in providing these kinds of services. There are plenty of startup companies out there that are doing what we do, for example, but they may not have that operational experience. You need someone that can talk the same talk that you have, understand your business, understand how it works, and can configure the software to meet your specific business needs. You need a secure and safe platform, of course. That goes without saying anymore. We talked about scalability as another reason. Real-time status updates, the driver tracking, that route planning optimization tool, all of these are important. That dynamic stop insertion. And then, the software as a service platform is definitely a plus in the industry, because you don't have to do that heavy technology investment, right? You're just paying for the service on a monthly or annual basis. And so those are really were the keys, especially for me as a former customer of MercuryGate. When I was making those kind of decisions and had to decide on implementing a solution, my boss was the CFO, and I had to make sure that the system provided a good return on investment, and I had to prove that to him with real numbers in the P&L statement. And so I used a lot of these same criteria when I was making the decision on what tool we were going to implement.
Okay, you alluded to some other solutions that are out in the marketplace, and we know there are many out there. But what is the
Mhm.
MercuryGate differentiator? What are we doing that others aren't?
Yeah, I really think it comes down to that dynamic optimization engine. We call it the best button in our platform, where a dispatcher can say, I need to make a stop assignment right now. Who's the best driver at this current time of the day to assign this stop to? And they can select our best button. And in that case, the optimization engine is keeping track of all the activity, where all the drivers are, have they been delayed, are there traffic delays, have they been delayed at customers, did they get started late, are they running ahead of schedule? All of that is tracked in real time through our dynamic optimizer, and it's going to provide the dispatcher um, a result that tells them what's the impact on time and miles for making this decision. And so I think that really is a differentiator for us in the marketplace, and really where a lot of our customers get a big chunk of their return on investment, because I can plan a great day and then the day starts, 5 drivers show up late. We have a snowstorm and 10 customers cancel their deliveries. That's going to take that plan that I had and throw it right out the window. With that dynamic optimization engine, that's really where it's going to shine and help me, what we'll say, make lemon out of lemonades in that example.
Okay, so we've talked about solutions and what sets us apart. Now let's talk about other people that are looking at those solutions. Are there any unbiased resources out there that can help me narrow down the field of providers?
Yeah, I think the best one right now is Gartner. The Magic Quadrant with Gartner. You can see where we sit on that list as well. But that Magic Quadrant really is the kind of the marker in the industry, and they spend a lot of time and effort to make sure that they interview customers. I know I used it personally when I was making a decision years ago to purchase this solution. So um, it's good information.
All right, Greg, thanks so much for some really
Yeah,
great
thank you.
information, and thanks for introducing this topic to our audience and sharing some of your time with us today.
Thank you very much.
A quick reminder to our audience, you can connect with Greg. Again, just use that link under his name and the credentials there in your On24 email or the viewer there. And also, you can see on our screen, we provide regular transportation industry updates in our Knowledge Center. That's where you can find the MercuryGate blog. It's updated weekly with topics focused on helping you achieve smart transportation across your end-to-end supply chain. Just find our Knowledge Center at MercuryGate.com. You can access all our materials, including the deliverables that you see on the screen. And don't forget, follow MercuryGate International on LinkedIn. You can get there when you click that LinkedIn logo that you see in the On24 webinar viewer near the bottom of our list of related content. Remember, this is a great way to stay informed about the new content and events that will be coming up, and including future episodes of our 3 with the SME series. Our next episode is going to be on August 28th at 3 p.m. Check the events page at MercuryGate.com to register for that event today. Until then, on behalf of Greg Comfer and everyone at MercuryGate International, thank you for joining us for today's conversation.